Hey, good morning, Flo. I guess Austin Jackson was out there back yesterday doing something at practice. What were you able to see with him for the first time out, and does he have a chance for Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, he was down for a few weeks, so we designated him for a return. Was out of practice yesterday. Went through a couple of drills. Obviously, like any player, when you're out for some weeks, there's a little bit of rust. So um, just trying to knock some of that off. So a couple of drills here and there, um, and we'll just take it day to day and see where it goes. But it's good. It's good to get him out there.
Adam?
Good morning, Brian. I wanted to ask you about your running back situation. We saw Breed obviously with the hamstring on the injury list yesterday, without Miles, and even Laird's a little dinged up. If it is Jordan Howard as your featured back, what has he shown you in the last month when he's been unable to play? Well, he hasn't been activated to play. What has he shown you that's given you confidence that he can be the guy on Sunday against the Cardinals?
Yeah, well, just so you guys know, Miles will go on IR today. Miles Gasson will go on IR. But yeah, we got some guys banged up. Jordan Howard. I think this guy. He's always practiced hard. He's always look. I think he's a good runner. That's why we brought him here. So he'll get an opportunity, and Salvon and Ahmed will get an opportunity as well. Patrick Laird, and we like our depth at that position. So those guys will get an opportunity, and they got to practice well, and hopefully they perform well in the game.
Cam?
Hey, Flo. When you look at when I heard I guess the Rams Michael Brocker was describing your defense, and he said he had never.
Did you got anyone else hear him? He kind of went out.
He froze.
Okay. We'll go to somebody else. Come back.
Yeah. Adam, we'll come back to Cam.
For once, it wasn't my Wi-Fi that stunk. I wanted to ask you about Antonio Callaway. You said that you hadn't seen him in cleats. You have now. How did he perform, A? And B, through this process, what he's been through, why are you confident that he's going to take advantage of this opportunity when he hasn't in the past?
It was one practice, so yeah, I've seen him in cleats now. I've seen him in a helmet. Look, he worked hard in practice yesterday. My opportunities I've had to spend with him, he's excited about being here and being able to practice and play football. So, when you have someone with that type of attitude, you hope the best for him. And look, he's got to do the work. So, it's not really, what I think doesn't matter. It's about, his work ethic and his ability to take advantage of this opportunity. So,
Joe?
Hey, good morning, Flo. Obviously, you just mentioned Howard, Ahmed, and Laird. Does that mean that Breida is unlikely, or does he still have a chance?
No, I mean, obviously he's dealing with doesn't mean it really doesn't. I just didn't mention him. He's still got a chance. I mean, it's hamstrings are tough, so we'll see how this goes throughout the week. But again, we like the depth at that position, and we'll see how it goes.
Cam?
Yeah, sorry, I think my computer crapped out there. I was trying to ask Michael Brocker that talked about your cover zero blitzes that you guys were running against them. He said he had never seen it so frequently. What is it about your personnel this year that allows you to be comfortable and running that with that frequency?
I mean, I think Josh has done a good job as far as game planning and trying to put guys in position to have some success. And we ran some zero blitzes a year ago, and I think everybody has them. So I don't think we're doing anything that's different than a lot of other teams. So I think it's about execution. It's about preparation. It's about getting comfortable doing things in practice, whether it's a zero blitz or, 8 people in coverage. Any way you slice it, you got to execute. And that's a week-to-week thing. So, again, that was last week. And really, we got a tough test this week against the Cardinals. So,
Ruthie?
Good morning, Flo. Can you talk a little bit about just the challenges that come with facing a team that's coming off a bye? And obviously they picked up some pretty big momentum before the bye, beating the Seahawks in overtime, and just kind of how they'll be rested and what that does for you guys.
yeah, I mean, it's a good football team. That's the biggest test. And then, they're coming off a bye, so they've had a lot of time to watch us, study us, and come up with a game plan. They got good coaches, so more time is always a good thing, as a coach. So you can dissect, what the opponent is doing a little bit more with a little bit more. You just have more time to dissect it and find something that you think will work. So look, they're a good team. I mean, they're talented and well coached, and this will be a tough test. It will be a tough test on if they played last week. It's an even tougher test that they had last week off. So they'll be fresh. They'll be rearing to go.
Safid?
Hey, good morning, Flo. We talked about the drops that Preston Williams had on Sunday, and also you had 2 really good catches in that game as well. When a player like that is giving you good plays and maybe having some plays where it doesn't go his way, how do you? I don't think Preston probably needs it, but how do you just make sure that he stays level-headed and committed to coaching and doing the basics to make sure those plays happen for him in the future?
I mean, I think you just as a coach, you want to be encouraging, but at the same time, you have to let players know it's important that they execute, and that's part of the execution: throwing, catching, blocking, defeating blocks, tackling, breaking tackles. I mean, that's all part of the execution. So the things we work on a daily basis, it's important to execute. When we don't, it doesn't work out. He's disappointed. We're disappointed. Look, I mean, Preston, I can yell at him all I want. He's probably going to, be more upset than I am. So I think part of it for him is, helping him move forward and move on to the next play, because we need to do that also. Every player is a little bit different. So, I think we just continue to work on, catching the football and route running and route technique and, all those things. And move on from any, let's call it negative plays.
All right, we have 2 more. We'll go to Adam.
Even 10, 15 years ago, there was a stigma over players, quarterbacks 6 feet and under. I mean, you had to be 6'3", 6'4", 220 was the prototype. Obviously, this weekend, you're going to have 2 top 5 quarterbacks that are 6 feet and under. Had that, his thinking in your mind changed, or is just the industry changed when, identifying and thinking about quarterbacks in a different light?
I mean, I think, look, good players comes in all shapes, sizes. So I think there's people have their prototypes, let's call it, at each position, and some have them at quarterback and O-line and D-line, and but I think there's good players. There's been good quarterbacks who are, short. There've been good quarterbacks that are tall. They've been good, I mean, I think, good players are good players are good players. I think, well, I mean, now that you mentioned, the quarterback, look, there's, a couple of things out there. Let's call it a source close to Dolphins thinking, saying that, we're auditioning, to, and I'm just going to tell you about my thinking. We brought Tua here because we believe in him, same as all the other draft picks. We believe in developing players, and I think you guys have heard me talk about the improvement of players on a daily basis. That would be the opposite of giving somebody a 10-game audition. So I guess that's my thinking on that, just so everybody's clear. What was the rest of your question? You just kind of piqued something that'd been on my mind.
Oh, if you want to continue on that, that's far more interesting than my bad question was. But I was just asking about quarterbacks that aren't 6'3", 240.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, for me, it's about, the talent level of the quarterback, leadership, things of that nature. So there's the intangibles. There's a lot more to playing that position than, height, weight, speed, so as well as every other position.
Final question, Omar.
It's hard for me not to piggyback on that. Obviously, you started Tua because you needed to see or wanted to develop him. So you're comfortable with what comes out of these 10 games?
Yes, I'm comfortable with what comes out of these 10 games. I think since I've been here, I think everybody's heard me talk about the development of players, improvement on a daily basis. So I just don't see how someone close to Dolphins thinking could say that this would be a 10-game audition. That's just, not sure where that came from. So just put that out there.